Hello everybody, welcome back to day 31 of 100 days of code, and I need to apologize. This one is 3 days late. Like we have, I wanted to upload this literally like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, when literally the day after we upload our last video. But unfortunately, I started coding and I was like, I'm not enjoying what I was doing. I wasn't doing anything fun. It wasn't good. It wasn't good content, and I didn't want to post that up. I went off and I went and learned a few new things, a few new tips and tricks. So it's not always the same stuff we're always creating. So we went in and we learned Vuetify, and we've added loads of different concepts from Vuetify and everything else, and Vue normal concepts into this admin system. So as you can see, this is for our blog, which we created in the last episode, I think, or we hooked it up in the last episode. This is the blog. This is the blog admin system where we're going to be adding new posts, updating our posts, removing posts, and I've added in a few random features like this. This is not needed. This drawer, I just added it in just so it kind of looks cool, but at the same time it doesn't do anything. So I just wanted to show you how you can do that, and you can add bits in here. So it's loads of cool bits. So we can add a new post, and this is connecting to our live server. So in here we can say the 11th post, and we can say it's by the coding pot, and in here we could just say our 11th post, and we can add post, and then it has a little loading bar if it's going to take too long, and then it uploads, and then there we go, that is in there. Okay guys, so that is now running here. So if we go here and we click see more, we get those two, 10th post and the 11th post there. If we refresh this page, it's still there. If we hit remove, it's gone. If we go back here and we hit refresh now and we see more, it's gone. I can't see any more. So the 10th post is the latest post. And then we can update posts. So actually I've got some updates. So if we go through our pagination, so we've added in some really cool pagination in here, which is really nice. If we go here and we go, let's say test post files, let's do it and add updated, hit update, it's going to load. That is now updated, and if we hit refresh just to make sure it's definitely working and we go across, it is updated. In our blog here, we go along, it is updated. So I'm going to head along and I'm going to edit. I'm going to open up all the files we need, and then I'll see you guys in 1 second. So we're going to open up our integrated terminal because we need to start Vue, and we're going to be using the Vue CLI again instead of the Vue UI. And we're going to do Vue create dot, so it creates it in this folder. Do you want to generate current project? Yes. Do we want the Vue router? No. We want default or manually select features. Let's manually select features. Which one? Do we need any of these? We don't. So yeah, we're just going to use the basic stuff. Yeah, dedicated files. Save this as a preset for future projects. No. There we go. So now it's going to install, and I'll see you once that's done. Okay guys, so we're back and it has started, but there's one thing. As I said, I needed to start up the server. So we're going to go Vue. We're going to say, sorry, we don't need to start, so we need to add Vuetify, and we're going to do Vue add Vuetify, and basically this is now going to install Vuetify. It's gonna, it should ask us what our settings we want and how we want to install it, so we'll wait for that. Okay guys, so it has asked us what settings we want, and we're just going to hit the default recommended, and now we're going to let that install. Okay guys, so now that is installed, and as you can see, all of this, there's been like some changes. So let's have a look at what changes compared to our usual Vue setup. So we're going to clear this and we're going to close the terminal. And now obviously we're going to be working in source, and we've got something called plugins, which has the Vuetify plugin in. It literally is just set up for it. It's basically the only thing it's using is importing this material icon font for its icons. In components, we have the hello world as usual, but it's probably going to be different. And in our app, we have all this stuff, this fee stuff, which is actually a part of Vuetify. Anything with a fee hyphen is actually for Vuetify. So now let's have a look what this looks like. So let's run the server. So we're going to try Alt-T, we're going to do npm run serve. Okay guys, that's now installed. So let's go open the browser. So it is on localhost 8080. Oh, sorry, 8081. So here we are. So this is what we get greeted with. So compared to our usual just green styled stuff, it's now this. So it's got this header bar, this toolbar as it's called, and it's got a usual, it's a similar look but not the same. Different logo, different everything. So let's go back and let's change some things up. First things first, we just want to get rid of this hello world and this hello world down here and the hello world in components. Secondly, we're going to actually remove this toolbar completely, and we're going to bring it up here. We're going to hit save, and we're just going to put hello world in here, and we're just going to have a look what that looks like. As you can see, it says hello world. Another thing I'm doing quickly is convert my tabs. Okay guys, I've sorted my files. It was just a bit annoying. I had to manually change my stuff. Inside of components, we're just going to delete hello world, and we're just going to move that to the trash. Okay, so the first things we want to do inside of our app, inside of our hello content, we want to set up the navbar. So to do that, we're going to go create a new component inside components, and we're going to come in here and we're going to go navbar or navbar.vue, and then in here we're going to write template with HTML. We're going to write nav because that's basically a navbar, and we're going to say fee toolbar. And then we get our toolbar, and in here there's a few props. So let's just put hello world in here again so we can see, and let's go over to our thing. So we need to write app in here, so it is okay guys. So once we've got in here, we've written app in there, and we need to now import this in our script. So we're going to go import navbar from and we're going to go at, and we're going to say components slash nav bar, and that's going to get our nav bar. And in components, we're going to write in here nav bar, and just inside here, we're going to go nav bar. Oh, wait, I forgot my tag. And we're going to hit save, but that might cause us, no, that has worked. So that is our nav bar. As you can see, it's just a simple nav bar linked to the top. Now we can actually add something in here. We're going to say dark, and that is going to switch it to dark mode. So text and it goes white and the background goes black, which is all nice and good. So that's looking good. We can now add a couple more things inside this navbar. So we want to say toolbar fee toolbar side icon. And we don't need that, we could just do this, and in here we're going to actually, you know, that should do nicely. So now if we come back, we now have the button, which is all good, and now in here we're going to say fee toolbar title, and in here we're going to write tileless, and we're going to put a span, and we're going to write mind, and then we're going to put space and then admin, and we're going to remove space between tileless and mind. And in our toolbar, we're going to add some classes which are part of the Vuetify package, and we're going to say text uppercase, or uppercase, and that is going to convert to uppercase, and we're going to say yellow text. And in here we're going to say class is equal to font weight light. And that's it. If we hit save and we go back, as you see, we get it right here. But we need a double hyphen in between yellow text. And there we go, that is now yellow, although that is not the same yellow as mine. So if we want to change this styling, like the colors and the themes now, we can go into node modules, and if we scroll all the way down towards where Vuetify is, which is obviously in the fee section, and actually Vuetify right there. We want to go in the source, and we want to go into components. No, we want to go stylus, and we want to say settings, and then we want to go into colors, and this is where we can change all of our colors. We only need to change one color for my brand, or maybe two, and that is in the yellow base. We're just going to say FFCE00, and that is just going to say, that is just our brand code. So now if we go back, as you can see, it now looks a lot better, more like my color. And if we go to the bottom, we also want to change this darken forward to 171717. to make it more of our color. Now if we go back, okay, that took a lot longer to load than it should have, but now as you can see, this color is now the darker color and Tyler's mind is set up. If we go back to our toolbar, we've got all this, that's all cool, but let's add a fee toolbar items, and this is where you put like your nav links and stuff, and we're going to put a fee button, which is another Vuetify component, and we're going to write color is equal to white, and then here we're going to say new post. And now if we go back, sorry, I also forgot to put in here flat. So what flat does is make sure it is a flat icon. So if we go back, as you can see, that is what it does. It creates a flat icon. But as you can see, it's right up against this stuff. We need to move it over to the right to match either side. So if we go in here, we want to go fee spacer and hit enter, and that will give us this fee spacer thing. And that basically just pushes something. It's like a margin auto, so it pushes it all the way over to the right. And now we have that item. We could also center our title if we wanted to. We could do another fee spacer there, and that would center our title. But I kind of like it slightly to the right, or to the left, sorry, so it sits over there. So after that, we want to now get our, we're not going to do draw yet, we'll do that last, as I feel that is that feature isn't necessary. So down in our Navbar view, we're going to create a script. JavaScript one, we're just going to give it a name of Navbar, and data is going to be equal to return, and we're going to say draw is equal to false, because this is going to control our draw opening. We're going to have new post dialog, which is equal to false, because it's going to do the pop-up for the new post, and we're going to have new post, which is just going to be once we edit the new post, this is where it's going to go and we can use this data. But for now, we don't need to worry about that. That's just setting it up ready. So if we go back to our app.vue and back in here, the next thing we need to do is set up our dashboard, which is going to be the view, so where we get our posts from. And to do that, we're going to create another new component, and we're going to new file, dashboard.view, and then in here let's write template. Inside our template we're going to say section, or we could go fee container, and we're going to add fluid, so that makes it full width, and then we're going to say class of PA3, and in here we're just going to quickly write hello world. We'll always write in the hello world, it just helps us. And now back in here, let's import our dashboard. So we type in here dashboard, and back here we'll say dashboard, and then we add it to our components list. And then inside of fee content, we're going to write dashboard. Ah, God, I keep forgetting it's meant to be a tag. And dashboard. So there we go. That should now be working. Hey, there we go. So now it's got some padding. Sorry, again, I should have explained this class. So the class PA stands for padding all, so all sides, add a 3, which is different increment. We could do 1, which is a little bit of padding. We could do up to 5. Actually, you can see it goes a lot. 4, 2, and so on. But I like 3. I think it's a nice even number. So we could change this number from 1 to 5. I'm pretty sure we could do 0, 2, which then will pull it no padding, which is useful. Oops, sorry, 3. And now let's start deciding our thing. So we're going to go fee layout, and what fee layout does is it's like a flexbox wrapper. So we're going to say row wrap. And that's just going to, well, we don't need a row. The row is always, it's row by default. But wrap means it's going to wrap our content. It's like flex wrap. And then we're going to write fee flex, which is a flex item. And we're going to put in here h1. And we're going to give that a class of heading, which is also a Vuetify class. And we're going to write posts. And inside of our fee flex, we're going to write in here XS12, MD8, offset, MD2. So what this is saying is, if you've ever used like Bootstrap or anything similar, you'll know that like these are classes for its column width. So it's going to say on a small screen, span across 12 column spaces on a medium screen only span across 8 and offset it by 2, which if you work out from 12 to 2, it is that is centering it. And now if we slide over into our thing, we can see post is now moved over into this centerpiece. It's inside its flex items. And now we're going to create another fee flex. And we're going to say XS12, again, MD8, and offset MD2. And we're going to spec that down, and we'll go fee list. So this is where our list is going to be, and we're going to say 2 lines, so that makes the height of each fee list item. So for each item inside of this list, it's going to be 2 lines high, and we're going to say class of transparent, because we want the background to be transparent, because it adds a default white background, and I do not like that. So yeah, we've got our fee list there, and now we're going to go fee list tile, and in here we're just going to say again, hello world. And we're going to set a few classes on here. We're going to say class, and we're going to say grey, which is our thing, and we're going to say darken 4, and then margin bottom 1, because we're going to create 2 of these quickly. And now if we go back, as you can see, we've got our little blocks which go along, and then like 2 high. So if we remove 2 lines, it gets a bit smaller. It's now just 1 line high. But 2 line high just gives it a bit of extra spacing. It's easier to read, and it works nicely. So we don't want to actually, we don't want our list to be viewed like that. We want it to, be in a for loop, right? We want to use a for loop, and let's close the side here. We want it to render all of our stuff. So let's go down here and say script draft. We want to get it from the surface. So we're going to say name. We're going to say what is this again? The dashboard. And inside of here, we're going to say props, because we're going to pass through a prop, and it's going to be our post. So that's going to be all our posts. And for now, that is fine, although it's not going to work because we haven't passed through props. And in dashboard, we're going to, so in data, we're now going to put post, and we're going to set that equal to an empty array. And in dashboard, we're going to say, what are we going to say? We're going to say posts, but we're going to use the bind is equal to posts, and now it's going to pass it through. So this is short for fee bind, but we can just use the colon. And now in our dashboard, this is going to work, but we now need to remove this hello world. Bring this up here, and we can actually remove this, I believe, because we don't actually need it. And in here we can just say, actually saying that we do need it. I don't know why I said that. That was dumb of me. Inside of here we can say, well, we're going to go to the start thing. We're going to say fee, as we've done before, fee 4, and we're going to say post in posts. We're going to set this to post and index. And we're going to say, we're going to bind the key equal to underscore or post dot underscore ID. And if we go back to our app here, we can add in a new post, and we're going to say ID is equal to 1, title is equal to post 1, but content is equal to content, author, oh, hello. Author is going to be equal to my name. And timestamp is going to, we don't need that for now. We'll do that once we get it. So that's just the basics. I think that's all of it. Title, content, author is what we need. And back in here, post. And now in here, we're just going to go, we're going to use an expression or interpolation, and we're going to say post.title. And now if we go back, we've got post 1. So it's listed out our post 1. If we copy this and we give it an ID of 2 and we say post 2 and we go back, we've got post 2 and 1. So they are now looking good. So that is working. But we obviously don't want that. We want our posts, right? So if we go back to app, and we scroll, no, not scroll, we're going to write in some new things. We're going to write in a new method. So after data, we're going to say methods, and we're going to say get posts. And in here, we're going to say async, so we want to be asynchronous. We're going to say function, and we're going to say this.posts is equal to await, because we're going to wait for this to return. And we're going to say http://localhost 3000 API posts all, which, if you remember, that is our API link from when we last did it. And now if we write down here, we're going to say .then. I'm going to tab this up one just so it maybe. Oh, that's way too zoomed in. That'll do. Yeah, .then, and we're going to say data, and we'll use an arrow function, and we're going to return data.json, because when you first return the data, it's actually more of a response. It's like the whole response, and we just want the JSON value what comes with this. And under there, we're going to write .then, and we're going to write JSON. So this time we're actually getting back JSON because we've returned the JSON data. And in here, we're going to say return JSON.result. And that is, so if you remember how we set it up in our app, result is actually going to be JSON is going to return a object which has a success. If it comes back true, that means it's worked. And it's also going to have the result, which is going to be our post. So we're going to return this to this.posts. And that is good. So now let's save that. And now if we can remove this because this is no longer needed, and we hit save, and we come back here and let's refresh. Oh, 1 second. So I do this every time, but we now need to create so we've got the method, but nothing called get post. We want to create before mount, and this is a life cycle method. So these are built into Vue. You write in before mount. There's different ones. You can search up lifecycle methods for different times. This one just happens before this components get mounted to the page or to the view, and we're going to say this.getPosts. If we save and we go back, there we go. We've got all our posts. Obviously, they look a bit ugly, but at the same time, that's fine. We can style them up. So now we have our posts. So let's go back into our dashboard now so we can continue working on the style of this. And we're going to, sorry, I needed to go off. And in here, so in feed list tile, we're going to write a P, which is going to, which is going to have the class of yellow -- text and the class of font weight bold and another class of margin bottom 0. Because p tags come with margin at the bottom by default. We don't want that because it off-centers it. And in here, we're just going to write post.title. If we hit save and we go back, there you go. Our post now has a nice and neat title. And remember, any class I do in here is a Vuetify class. I won't be using anything else but Vuetify for this, which is, again, part of the material design package. Okay, and now we want a fee spacer. And after the space, we want a fee button. And in this button, we're going to say update. We want it to be a flat button, and we want the class to be equal to green -- text. And if we come back, there we go. We've got the update button, so we can hit update when we want to. Although it doesn't work, we need to hook that up soon. And after we've got the button, we want to create another one, and this one's going to be the remove button, and this is going to be, we're actually going to add the color in here. So we're going to say color, and we're going to say error. And there we go, we get the red button. And we're actually going to change this to color of success. So these, again, built-in stuff you can use. So in here, you could write color, and you could probably, I don't know if this is going to work. There you go. So yeah, you can write in colors and everything, but it has built-in colors from the colors style we went to change, and you can modify these. And if we go back, there we go. So now we get a red and green, which is already sorted for us. And that's all good. So that is how that is looking. So that looks good. But again, we're actually running this the wrong way. As you remember, so this isn't our first post. This is our first post, but this isn't our latest post. We want to see our latest post first. So let's go back to the app view and go down in here. We want to say, once we've got our posts, we want to say this dot post dot sort, and we're going to say function, and we're going to say A, B, and then I'm going to copy from our last, we used this in our last video, so I'm going to copy that and paste that in. So what this says is, if a.timestamp is less than b.timestamp, return 1, else return -1, or if none of those statements are true, return 0, which means they're the same. And that is just going to sort our post for us. Bam, so now it's the opposite way, and that is all good. Again, another thing we're missing is our pagination. So we want to add in some pagination to this. But first, we need to add in a couple of data stuff. So we want to say return, and we're going to say in here, we're going to say not current page, we're going to say page is equal to 1, because it's going to be the first page, and then display amount is equal to 5. So this is the amount of posts we want to display at one time, and this is the page we want to start on, which is page 1. If we hit save, that's not going to do anything. We need to go into here, and we want to say flex, and we want to pass in here the exact same stuff up here. We want it to be in line with this, and we'll pass that through. Next up, we want to go, so Vuetify has pagination built in again, so we want to go pagination and create this, and we want to say model. So again, we're setting what this value is equal to, and it's equal to the page, so our page, which is equal to 1. So this tells us what page we're on. We then want to say length. We're going to bind length, which is going to be equal to math.ceil, so we're going to get the highest possible, so we're going to round to the highest number, and we're going to say post.length divided by display amount. So what this is saying is we're going to get how many posts we have, and then we're going to divide it by how many we want to display on one page. So that's going to give us back how many pages we need. And again, we don't need this. We don't need this fee pagination second. We could just do a backslash to say it's ended at 1, because there's no what needs to go inside that. If we hit refresh and we go to the bottom, we've got our 3 pages, although they don't change what displays in here. That is because we need to add in some functionality further up. It's going to be in here, we're going to say post.slice, and we want to say page -1. Obviously, post starts from an index of 0, so this is actually going to be -1. And we're going to say times by display amount. So we're going to say 0 times by display amount, and then we want to slice, and then we want to say display amount times page. Oh, that's an I, times page. So that is a bit complex, but basically what this is saying is we're going to start at 0, so from the posts, and we're only going to display we're going to slice it up until the amount times by the page. So we're going to get so you'll see what it does in 1 second. Let's also, we don't need this index right now. We're going to remove it for now, and we don't need those. That means just so it looks a bit cleaner for now, and it doesn't confuse you. So bam, so that is that. If we go to 2, as you see, the pagination is that simple. It already works. Which is awesome. So we could have done this for our blog post as well, but I wanted to show different ways to do it. So we had the see more button, and now we have the pagination sort of thing. So we have it on different pages. Or in theory, it's not changing page, but you know what I mean. So that is really good. That's awesome. That is looking really fun. Okay, so now we've got this stuff all up, but none of the functionality is working. We don't have a new post, we can't update a post, and we can't remove a post. So to do that, we're going to go to our app.vue, and we're going to write a couple of functions. And one function, we're going to start off with the new view. So in here, we're going to say new post is going to equal to a function. And inside the function, we're going to have a parameter of post. So we'll be passing the post in here, which we get from our navbar. And we're going to say this.post dot push, and we're going to say post. So that is going to add our latest post. And then we're also going to write, so we're going to copy this from here. This is a bit accurate. We should put this into its own function, but we're just going to rewrite our sort function to sort it in case it needs sorting, which is awesome. So that is our new post all set up. And now back in our, we want to go back to our navbar up here, and we want to, let's open it. Okay, back in our navbar view, we want to write underneath toolbar, we want to write fee dialog. So this is another built-in property or another built-in component of Vuetify. And we're going to write in here fee model is equal to, and remember we created this new post dialog, that is what it's going to be equal to. Because it's going to say, so this basically says if this is true, then this is open, if this is false, then it is closed. And we're going to say persistent. Persistent, and what that does is basically say if you click on the edge of it, it's going to say this. So we're going to say max width of 768 pixels. So we want it to be, I'm going to remove persistent for now. I'm going to show you what that does, and we're going to change this to true so it displays, and we're just going to write hello world. And now if we come back, actually there's a hello world right here. If we click anywhere outside of that, it disappears. But now if we write persistent, and we go back, we need to set is equal to true. We need to refresh because we closed it. So now if we go back in, we try to click off it, you can't actually click off it, which is good. So that means you can't accidentally close it out once we create a new post. I know that's annoying, but we will have a close button to actually close it. And inside the dialog, we want a fee card, and fee card is another component. It's like cards in Bootstrap, it's like cards and everything else. It's like a little white card. And we're going to write in here fee card title, and we're going to write new post. So this is going to be the title of it. We're going to write a class of gray darken 4, and we're going to write white dash text, and we're going to put in here headline or heading. I don't know which one we would prefer, but we're going to go heading for now, and we're going to hit save. And again, if we come back, actually it says new post. Actually, headline actually works better. There we go. So that is now the right size. And in here, we're going to say fee card text, which is basically the body text. And we're just going to write hello world quickly because we want to get the other buttons up. And underneath fee card text, go write fee card actions, which is where you put your buttons at the bottom. And again, this is going to have a class of gray darken 4. And we're going to have a couple of fee buttons in here. We're going to say fee button, and we're going to say close, and this is going to close it. And this is going to be flat with a class of, or a color equal to yellow. And then we're going to have another button which is going to say update, which is going to be equal to success, maybe? Actually, this one's going to be equal to grey, and this one's going to be equal to, I want yellow to be our main button focus. So if we hit save and we go back, as you can see this, we've got our body, we've got our new post, and we've got these close and update button. But we want the update to be on the right and the close to be on the left. So we're going to add a fee spacer as well, a spacer which we have done before. We'll hit save, and bam, that is now over to the left, and that is over to the right. So now let's work on our, actually, let's get it so this is opened. So we're going to set this back to false, and we're going to basically modify this now. So where we have this new post fee button, we're going to add a click event to this. Click is a short code for fee on, but we're just going to say @click, and we're going to say new post dialog is equal to not new post dialog. So this is basically going to say whenever you click this, invert the thing. So if we hit new post, it opens up the new post dialog. Now we want to hook up the close because we don't want it to always be open, and we can't close it when we hit on the outside because it's persistent. So in our close, we literally write the exact same thing in here. And now if we go back and we hit close, it closes, new post opens it. So that is awesome. Now we just want to work on our body content inside of here, and we're going to use fee container, and we're going to set it to fluids and grid list XL, so from large downwards, I believe. And we're going to write in here fee layout, and we're just going to write wrap because we want the content to be able to wrap, and we're going to say fee flex again. So there's the fee flex, one fee flex, and we're going to say XS12 but MD6. On medium screens it's going to be 2 columns, and we're going to write in here fee text field. So this is basically a way of writing input field but using Vuetify's built-in one. And this is going to say label is equal to title or title, because that's the label at top, and the fee model is equal to new post.title. So remember we created this new post object, that is what this is going to be linking to. And then we're going to say required, although this actually doesn't need required because that's not going to work. Down here we're then going to say fee flex again, and we're going to do the same XS12 MD6. And we're going to write in here fee text field, and again just need that, it just needs to be that. And we're going to say label is equal to author, fee model is equal to new post.author, and that is it for that one. And let's copy this one more time, but we don't want a fee text field this time, and we also don't want the MD6, we just want this to be a full width column. We're going to say fee text area, so this is a Vuetify's text area, and this is going to have a label equal to content, and the fee model is going to be equal to new post.content. So that is that. That's all set up nicely. And now if we go back and we hit new post, bam, we have our new post stuff already set up. And the best thing is we don't have to hook this up because it's already hooked up to the data new post. The only thing we're going to have to hook up is this update button. But for now, we're going to create a method in here. We're going to say methods, and that's going to be equal to add post, and it's going to be a function, and this one's going to say this dot $emit, and it's going to say, actually, sorry, we don't need that yet. We're going to say let payload, so this is going to be our payload. We can't just pass back the new post because the new post is, it comes back funny. Objects come back funny from, they've got loads of extra stuff in them than just the standard stuff because they're like templated, like prototypes, like their own custom objects, it feels like. And anyway, so you just understand that you can't use them to send back straight to our server. We're going to say new post.title. We're going to say author is equal to this.newPost.author, and content is equal to this.newPost.content. Under there, we're next going to say our fetch, which is going to be equal to fetch, and we're going to say http://localhost 3000. So we're just going to put in our API for this, and it's post/new. Oh, that's a dot /new. And again, we've done this before, but this one is a post request, and in fetch we need to use method post. And so what I've done here is put an object inside of this, which is actually its options. So these are the options section, and we want to write in here headers, and we want to write content type is equal to application/JSON, and then we want to write body is equal to JSON.stringify, and we want to say payload. So we're sending back this payload. Now we want to write a couple of things. We want to go .then, and we want to say data return as data.json. So same as we did before, because we want to send it back as JSON, and then another .then, and then this one will be called JSON. and we want to say this dot dollar emit. So if you haven't watched our other few videos, what dollar emit does is it sends it back up to the parent component, and then you can catch that on the parent component and do something with a function over on that side. And we're going to write in here new post, and we're going to say json.result. So we're passing back the result, and we're going to say this dot new post dialog is equal to false, because we want to close our thing. And we also want to say this dot new post is back equal to a empty object, because we don't want it to have the old data in there. Okay, so this is looking good, but we've now emitted to the app, and in here we're going to have to catch that. So in Navbar, we're going to say, oh, sorry, my bad. We're going to say at new post. So at again is short for fee on, and we'll say new post, and we're going to call new post, which we're going to create a method for. We already have created a method for. Okay, so this is the method we created, new post. So that's why we've passed through the post, because inside of our emit function, our new post passes back our post. So I think that is working now. So that is literally it. That should now be working alongside our surface on, which I think it is. It is on. We now should be able to go in here and click new post, and we want to say for 11th post, and we want to say title parts, and we're going to say the 11th post, and we're going to hit update. I've just realized we've called that update, but that should say new post or add post. And also we need to hook up this button, so we did forget to do something. So back in Navbar, we want to scroll up to our button, and we want to say at click it's going to be equal to new post. Or sorry, add post. We're going to call it add post. What did we call it down here? We did call it add post, yeah. That's going to be called to add post, and I think that is good. So if we hit save, but we also want to say in here it's going to be add post too. And now let's go back. So there we go. So now if we hit add post, that is added our post, the 11th post there. If we hit refresh, it is consistent. That is now always there. It's now there, and we can start updating and removing it. But we need to, again, hook up these features using our API. So let's go back to our Navbar. So I think this is done. Our Navbar is done except from the draw, but I'm not sure we're going to add that in. We'll see. If you guys, I guess it's a feature you guys can use, or you guys can look into it, but we'll move on to app. So inside of our app.view, we want, so what do we need to do? We need to set up our updates. No, we need to go into our dashboard view. And we want to say in here, we want to add some new data stuff. So we want to say, update dialog, and this is going to be equal to false, because again, we're going to have a modal, if you want to say, or a pop-up that the update use. And we're going to say current post is equal to undefined, because we're going to have another post, which is again going to be equal to undefined. We could probably put current post equal to a post just instead, but no, it'll do. Okay, so down in our data, we're going to have an update post dialog function. So I know we need the methods first, and we need to say update post dialog, and we're going to pass through a post, and in here we're going to write this dot current post is equal to post, and this dot update dialog is equal to true. Although that won't do anything, so let's scroll back up to we're here already. Let's go back in here. So now in update, we want to say, so in our update button, we want to go at click, and we want to set this equal to update. So update post dialog, the function we created, and we want to pass through the post, which is going to be the post here. And that is it for that. So that should now open up our dialog, but we need to create our dialog. So underneath the container, we are going to write another dialog, we'll say the dialog. And again, we're going to write in here the card like we did before. We're going to have the card title. And we'll put that down. And why is these got reds here? Oh, it's the container our root. Oh, it is. We need to put it back into the container then. And we want to move. Oh, I want to push that up and put space edges so it's separated. You know what? We've just wasted a lot of time doing this, but we could have just went into Navbar and copied out our feed dialog for the new post. And we could paste that in here. And then we could just change this stuff to be update dialog. This one to be update. This one is going to be equal to current post.title. But we want to say here, we want to say the if current post. So we want to say is along as current post is exists, because we set it to be undefined, so that would cause us errors if we don't put this. And we want to copy that and paste that there, and we want to change that to current post, and we want to paste another one there and also change this one to current post. So that's how that should now be set up. But again, this one needs to be update dialog. It's not equal to update dialog. And this one should say update post, and in here we're going to say update. And I think that is good, but we do need to create a method called update post, and we don't pass anything through, do we? No. So that is that. Now let's go back here and let's click update on one of these, and bam, all our content is already filled in because we have set it up to do so. And that is how that works. So that is now working nice. We just need to set up the update post. And actually, let's say if we go in here and we start changing this, so you see the temp, we're going to say hello, and that automatically starts updating our actual post in there. But we don't, again, that's cool, but we've got to do some other things first because we need to actually update our database. And in here, we're just going to say this.$emit, and we're going to say update post, and we're going to say this.current post. And then we'll say this.update dialog is equal to false, and we don't need to get rid of the current post because every time you click on the update, it's going to bring up whatever. It's going to change anyway. So back in our app now, we just need to go on our dashboard, and we're going to say at update post is equal to update post. So now we need to create a function that updates the post in methods. So down here, we're going to put under here, and we'll say update post is equal to a function, and I think that takes through the post if I'm correct. It does, so we're going to say post, and then we're going to say let payload equal, and this one's going to take the ID this time with it, and we're going to say post._ID, title is equal to post.title, author is equal to post.author, content is equal to post.content, and timestamp is equal to post.timestamp. We need to pass everything back, which is normally in our thing, else it will delete it if we don't pass it back. And next up, we need to write the fetch. Again, it's another post request, but our URL is local host 3000 /API /post /update. And it's, again, we're going to have a method of post. We're going to have headers, not headers, which is equal to content type. And that's going to be application /JSON. And again, the body is equal to JSON.stringify payload. So that's looking good. We just need to write a .then. Data is equal to, or date pass through, and we'll return it as data.json, which is going to pass it back as JSON. We're going to go then, and we're going to say JSON is equal to return data. Actually, in here we just want to log. We just want to know it's updated. So we want to say log, and we want to say JSON. So that is good. We go back, and now we hit 11th post, and we write next to it, updated, and we hit updated. That looks updated. If we go back to our thing, our object got returned, which with a success of true, so that means it is updated. And if we hit refresh, it has been updated, so that is all good. So now our update function works. Now the last part is our remove button. We want to be able to remove posts. And in dashboard, we're going to create a method called, actually, do we need a method? I don't think we need a method. We can just straight away up here where we've got the remove button. Where are we? In here, we've got the remove button. We could do a @click, and this is going to be equal to $emit, and it's going to pass. It's going to be called remove post, and it's going to pass through the post. Is it going to pass through a post, or should we pass? So remember when I said we need the index? That is where we're going to use that for this. We're going to actually go in here, and we're going to say index. Oh, that's in the index. And we'll pass back the index off this post. And now if we go back to app, we want to go up here, and we want to say app remove post. We want to say remove post. And just below our update post method, we're going to write in here remove post, and we'll say function, and we'll pass through the index. And now this is going to be equal to fetch. Fetch. And it's going to be http://local host 3000 /API/post/remove. And again, this could take some options, and this is going to have a method of post. It's going to have the headers, which we're going to literally copy this bit here, but we're going to change this this in here. We're going to say ID, so we're going to put in an object in here. We're going to say this.posts, and we're going to pass in the index, and we're going to say ._ID. So that is as simple as that. And now under here, we're going to go then. We're going to say data is equal to return data.json, and then then is equal to JSON, which is going to say log JSON, so we know it's worked. And we also want to go down here and go this.post.splice, and we want to say from index to 1. We just want to remove 1 because this isn't going to remove it for us. This is just removing it from the database, and this will remove it from our post locally. So now if we go back and we hit refresh just to make sure everything's good, and we remove the 11th post, it's gone. If we hit refresh, it has stayed gone. Now it is all set up. Everything is set up, which is awesome. We're going to quickly create this drawer because I know I said I was going to do it, so I will do it quickly. But for people who don't really care about the drawer and they just cared about the functionality of the actual app, then you guys can leave now. I feel happy that you have joined us. Don't forget to hit that like button, and well, thanks for joining us. But let's do the drawer now. So let's go in here. We're going to read fee navigation drawer is the component we need. We're going to say fee model is equal to drawer. So drawer. So remember we created the drawer files down there. It's the same sort of thing. We'll say class is equal to gray darken. Not hyphen. Darken 4. and we're going to set this equal to the app, because else it's not going to be, it's going to be set to the global scope and it's not going to come out properly, or it's going to be set to this nav property. And we're going to say clipped, which is going to basically bring it down from the header, so it's going to match the header. And now in here we're just going to write, we can just write in here hello, or we're going to write a h2 with the class of headline, and we're going to say white -- text, and we're going to say hello world. So this is a really simple draw. Now to open this, to toggle this, we're going to go up to our sidebar icon, and we're going to say at click, we're going to set this equal to draw is equal to not draw. And now if we go back and we hit refresh and we hit this draw button, there we go, we've got a little hello world in there, and that is how we set up a draw, in case you want to have like your different links in here, maybe profiles to log out and stuff, because obviously this would normally be behind a safety ping authentication, but we're not doing that this time, and that is all set up. So guys, other than images, which I'm not sure we're going to get around to, because we've already done an image manager, and I believe it's just going to be, we're going to be doing the same content over and over again. I'm pretty sure we've done this blog. So if we go over to, first we have to run it. So let's go back and go here, and we're going to say cd.dart, we're going to cd into day 29 and list, and we're going to cd into blog, and we're going to npm run surf. And this should run it on port 80. So that is now running on port 8080. If we go over to here and we say localhost and we say 8080, our blog is right here. It's got our 10th post in there, all our other stuff in there. If we hit see more, we can see more. Actually, all the updated stuff is in there. Let's go in here quickly and let's create a new post, and we're going to again call it the 11th post. And we'll say author is me. And the content is equal to the 11th post. And we hit add post. That's all good. That's updated. So now if we hit refresh over here, the 11th post is now our newest post. 10th post, 9th post, 8th, 7th, 6th, SC, and we can continue going on down here. So now you should be able to use all that concepts to bring together a new thing. The last thing we're going to do in the next video is we're going to add into our blog, is when we click on a post, it's going to bring up the actual post with all its stuff inside of it. So when we click on this 11th post, it should and it will bring up a modal of some sort that will display it, but we'll do that in the next video, guys. So thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button, and if you want to see more, then smash that subscribe button. If you have any feedback, any comments, you need any help or anything, you can either come over to our Discord server, which the link is in the description, or you can drop your query in the comments and I will get to it as fast as I can. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.